Opa Leel. How are you?
Good afternoon, Vernon, and of course, good afternoon as well to your listeners. Oh, we're hanging in there.
Yes, but I must say to you, when we are in a crisis, we tend to panic and we do what is not right. What do you say to those persons, undocumented persons? I guess DACA is not gone through the window. We hear about birthright coming up and other things. What would you suggest to them? I've been told by one person that they should try and to secure their properties because there's news going around that their properties are being seized. So they should take whatever steps necessary. I don't know if you can speak on those matters on air, but there's
Oh,
panic
well,
all over.
well, it is, and the thing is that we can't necessarily say that the panic is unmerited because no, we just can't say that because it's official. The Trump's official policy, as basically even stated by their secretary, their press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, she
Yes, Karen
basically
Levitt.
confirmed, yeah, she basically confirmed it's actually the official policy of the Trump administration that all undocumented immigrants are considered criminals. So
Oi,
what
oi.
this means, oh yeah, so what that means is that during the Biden administration, even though there are a lot of people who were being taken into custody and put in removal proceedings, they
Mm-hmm.
made priority for those who had actual criminal record, meaning you did something, they wanted
Yes.
to secure or guarantee the safety or to protect the national safety of the US, right? So they were going after people who were a threat to the national security mostly. Well, now the Trump's policy is that no, no, no. Even if you don't have any criminal record, even if you have never been arrested, even if your simple bad thing that you did was an overstay, you are a criminal. You
You
entered
are a
unlawfully, so you're a
criminal.
criminal. So what
Mm-hmm.
that means is that they want you out. And so I think I've stated before that the most people right now are that's top priority are people who, even though they were undocumented, they entered and they were in removal proceedings before or something. They basically they have to know that you're here, right? Sometimes um, maybe you had a proceeding before you were ordered removed, but you did not. So they know
Right.
that you have an order. I think they're going to go after, and nothing, but I know they're going after those people because it's very easy for them to know that there's an order already there. And so what
Mm-hmm.
that means is that if they should take you into custody right now, you don't get a second chance, Vernon. They leave. If they take you into custody and you already had one of these orders in place, they had asked no questions. They would just leave and take you in, and you're back in Jamaica if that's where your home country is, or wherever your country of origin is. So the next call your family members could get is maybe from you back home in Jamaica saying, "Listen, I was picked up and I was sent out," meaning you don't get a day in court because you already had a removal. The other
Yes.
thing
Yes.
is if you entered less than 2 years ago, so there's something called expedited removal. So if you are one of those who entered less than 2 years ago, it's very easy for them to pick you up now, and then you also don't get a say in court. They could just simply remove you. Of course, they may give you a credible, fair interview, ask if you're having a fair, meaning for asylum. They can make that decision, and you're gone. Don't get a chance before a judge.
So
And
at
so
this
the
point
very
in
sad
time, sorry, go ahead.
no, but really, this is very important, though, Vernon, is that it's very sad because a lot of people now they're pensive, they don't know what's happening. You could leave your house now in the United States, and there's no guarantee that you will return to your
Oh,
home,
oh, oh, oh.
or your family member could leave their house, and there's no
Mm-hmm.
guarantee that you're going to have that family member returning back home.
Your children that you have with you, will those children be sent away to, because some of those children, they more than likely they are American citizens.
No, the children, if their children are United States citizens, then no, and if you're normally sometimes, these people have spouses as well who are
Hmm.
United States citizens. So the children and the spouses who are United States citizens are fine. They will stay remain in the United States. But then you're just going to be separated as an immigrant who doesn't, without lawful status, will be separated and go back to your home country.
Well, if the children they have no one to stay with, I guess you have to take them.
Exactly. So that's something that, or sometimes they let them stay with family members.
Yes, yes.
If both parents, for example, are undocumented, then what are you going to do?
Hmm.
You have to take your children with you, even though that child's a United States citizen. You don't get any relief by saying, listen, I have a child here, let me stay with
Yes,
my
yes.
child here in the United States, in other words.
So if I should understand you clearly, it would not even make sense coming to you as a lawyer for those who are on the list to be deported. There's what? Nothing you can do at this point.
Exactly. So if you, I mean, and right now I see there's over 5,000 Jamaicans who are on that list who are being
Yes.
targeted right now by
Hmm.
ICE. But again, those are people that they know that you're here maybe because you had a prior removal order,
Hmm.
and that's why they're just acting upon that order to get you out. I wouldn't say
Right.
there's nothing much to do. It's not maybe it's not much to do, but you still should go get an attorney to see if you
Ah.
know you're one of those who already have that. Maybe the
Hmm.
attorney can give you some more advice as to what to do to protect itself. Maybe we could try and do a reopen to reopen that removal order. Maybe it is that some of these
Okay.
people they never got the proper notice. They never, you know, how many people Vernon didn't even know they were ordered removed. Maybe because their address has changed, and so the
You know what
immigration
I'm going
judge
to
that
say to
went
you?
ahead.
You're not a lawyer for nothing, because it's what you're thinking of already. So I would advise very strongly that it is advisable to speak with a lawyer because you never can tell there's something that can be done.
Absolutely. And there's
Yes.
a lot of, I know there's a lot of know your rights things going all over in the United States where different
Yes.
charitable organizations, for example, are giving out free advice,
Mhm.
sometimes via Zoom, to tell you how to act when you if you should be faced. For example,
Mhm.
if you see ICE come to your door, they don't have a right to come and break down your door and let you don't have to let them in. You can demand, for example, to see a warrant, and the warrant must be signed by
Oh.
a judge, not an ICE officer. It must be signed by a judge. And you also have the right to remain silent, and you also have a right to not sign anything. So these are certain rights that you really and truly need to know. The only time I would
Mhm.
tell my clients to say anything is if they know for a fact they have been here for more than 2 years and they
Yes.
have proper documentation to show that they have been here for more than 2 years and they don't have a prior removal order, because those people, you cannot just put them on the plane and send them out. Those
Hmm.
people, they have to be brought before a judge. So for only in that case, then, and what you would need to do is have your proper documentation to verify that you indeed was has been present in the United States for more than 2 years, which could mean your I-94 card that you came in with, maybe your passport had a stamp, or maybe it is that you had filed some applications before and you had the receipts that dates, over 2 years ago. Those you can have with you. Do not bring your original passport with you. I would not bring my original passport if I know it's undocumented with me,
Hmm.
because it's so easier for them to remove you from the United States. So I would not bring my passport. You can have a copy maybe of certain documents, including your passport, but I would not have the original in my presence.
Good.
And so
Mhm. Go
and so
ahead.
what I'm even doing, Vernon, before we go, what I'm doing is that even on this Friday, as my way of giving back to the community, I'm doing like a free session on Zoom where anybody, you don't even have to register, because I don't care who you are. You don't have to, you can be anonymous. I don't care who you are.
Hmm.
And I'm going to be going over some rights for those people at 5 o'clock. So if they're following us on our Instagram page, they will see how the information and the Zoom link and the Zoom password, and just log on and we'll tell them everything what's going on right now.
Right. And that I will talk to you about after because I'm very much interested in that. The concern that I have, and I've heard anything statement from government here as to how they'll deal with those persons who will be deported, is when they come to Jamaica, there are some persons who will have no relatives at all, probably
Mhm.
have nowhere to go. Did you hear anything about assets being seized or frozen? Because you see, quite a number of things are going around on social media, and that some of these are not necessarily accurate.
Okay.
So
That's not true. They can't just seize your documents like that. The only time a government,
no assets, your house
right?
and bank.
They can't seize your assets like that unless they have to have a court order to do so. Um,
Okay.
and then the property doesn't belong to the government. Not because you're leaving it. It's not that simple. I would say that's like fake news or rumor, because remember, you're always going to have, there's a process there. You have family members who would get the property. And I mean, is it that all the family members are being removed or deported? It's
Mhm.
I find that very strange that
Right,
that's
right.
happening.
So it seems to be that they should to be prepared to have their assets looked after, their bank accounts and so on, um, dealt with before they leave.
Correct. Absolutely. There's something that they need to be having in place right now. If they have minor children that they really are going to intend to leave here, which I don't know why, but to
Right.
leave here and they return, then they need to put guardianship documents and stuff in place so that child or
Mhm.
children will be able to go to school and other people will be able to have caregivers to take care of that child.
Would you be willing to, could somebody come to you, for example, and say that they want you to give you the power of an attorney, which is say, straight to say that you are an attorney, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So help me with that. Uh, can they come to you and say you will be responsible for my assets or everything, and you will direct things from there? Would you be willing to offer that?
Absolutely. So not for me, but people do it. They have it. They don't want to pay an attorney to do that. There's going to be a lot of money to be paying
Yeah.
an attorney. We can prepare the documents, prepare the power of attorney, but
Yes.
you want to pay an. I don't think you would want to pay an attorney an hourly fee every time to do something on your behalf. But you can,
Yes.
depend. You can do that as well. But you can have any person of your choosing that you could
Hmm.
leave in charge of your doing bank transaction. Make sure it's somebody you trust now. You don't want later on you hear that your bank account is wiped out clean and
Hmm.
everything is clean and all your your hard earned money is gone, your retirement. So you want to make
Yes.
sure it's somebody that is trustful, is trustworthy. But right now, honestly, they really need to be getting an attorney and getting proper advice. That's really and truly what people
Right.
need to be doing
I
and
tell you
put their
what, time
affairs in
has
order.
slipped by. But next week, I think we need to look at it again,
Okay.
generally. So just remind us, any final point you want to make and let us know how we can make contact with you openly.
Thank you as always, Vernon. As I said before, people, even though they're going to schools now, church, and you have to be very vigilant because no matter where you go, you
Mhm.
as long as you're undocumented or have overstayed, you are in danger of being removed and not returned to your family. So just lawyer up, or at least do a consultation. Opal Lee, the phone number in Jamaica is 876-854-3599. That's 876-854-3599. In the United States, it is 954-358-2020. That's 954-358-2020. Or you may connect with us on our Instagram or website. Our Instagram is FlowJam Legal. Our website is www.flowjamlegal.com. Thanks, Vernon.
Thank you very much, openly. I can just imagine what many uh, undocumented persons are going through. But I gather also before you go that they are going to, well, he signed an order curtailing aids to other countries. I just say
Mm-hmm.
one thing to you which you can think about for next week. When you do that, that might cause other countries to step in to fill the gap,
Mm-hmm.
and that could have an impact on world power, United States. I'm not a prophet, but I'm just putting it out there. Thank you very much, Opal. Have a wonderful day. All the
Same
best,
to
my
you.
friend. Take care. Next week.